silver just had a 12% up move in a week, the biggest weekly up move like in 2 years. And here is a silver onza, and this is a not safe for work kind of portrait, because if you look closely, there's some detail on this winged woman that are, quote, not safe for work, but it's on a coin, so maybe you can still bring it to work and not get in trouble for violating any kind of, if you have any kind of code when it comes to, you know, bare-chested women pictures. This might, because it's like art or whatever, might not qualify as that. I always find it interesting about how society has these forays and mores about things like nudity. Statues are exceptions, and coins are exceptions. And remember when I was younger, National Geographic was an exception. Like in when I was in junior high school, National Geographic, there'd be pictures of completely naked people, like in third world countries, like in Africa, and that's like Natural Geographic, right? But if there was a Western person naked, that wouldn't fly. I always thought that was interesting how this cultural layer is a really strange thing. The cultural layer we have in society is a really strange thing. So, yes, the price of silver will move up and down and sideways regardless of what bloggers think about silver. You could have bloggers who are wrong about what's going on in silver, and the price can still go up, or it could go down. It went up, we had a good move, and Moments in Trading, who's been doing a whole series of videos about supply and demand of mines and industry and all these things, said, hey, I think $23 silver, and he was right. And he was saying, hey, when it was 18, now that was, people were starting to sound really bearish, and then went to 23. So he had some good analysis there. It's interesting because Moments in Trading has been harshly attacked by some other popular silver channels. Not just him, just others, right? Others too have been harshly attacked. Yet he said it's going to 23 when it was lower, and it didn't. And he was right, but he couldn't see the future. He was saying, based upon my analysis, I expect this, but he's not making any promises, right? So, when it comes to complicated stuff, in silver blogosphere, two of the most complicated things are the COMEX and the ETFs, like SLV. When you hear interviews and theories about these things, there's a lot of confusion. It seems that most people in the silver community don't really know how these things work, but they have very, very strong opinions on what they think it works. Like there's some pundit who sounds convincing. They don't really understand the COMEX, but they're going with their favorite pundit, and they'll leave very strong emotional comments saying how they're right and you're wrong, but they don't know how to read the prospectus and the ETFs. They don't know how to analyze the COMEX. And there's this blog called Kid Dynamite's World, and it's pretty good. This guy has a lot of articles about how the COMEX really works and how the ETFs really works. He did an article called Precious Metal Charlatans, Freaks of the Industry. And he sounds harsh, but he lays out a lot of COMEX things. He says a lot of these guys, he names names, like he names Harvey Organ, he names, I think he names Turd Ferguson, he'll name, what's it called, Jesse's Cafe, all these things, Zero Hedge, and Dave in Denver. He says that these are all charlatans who know nothing about how the COMEX works, or they know how it works and they're trying to mislead you. Now, that's his opinion, and I'm kind of saying what he says, because I'll have to admit, I don't know the COMEX well enough right now to go ahead and make a strong opinion about people interpreting how the COMEX works. It's, legal documents or legal sounding documents, description details. You can read his blog, and he lays out his case, saying why these people are wrong about the COMEX, why he's right about the COMEX, and he goes through a whole bunch of detail. It'd probably take me like a half-hour video to really go through this blog, which you can do on your own. In fact, it's better if you go through this on your own instead of have me try to interpret it for you. And this is kind of in the area of, I've heard of cases where a lot of these banksters have been found innocent of financial crimes because the jury was not able to understand the crime. This stuff in the financial world is getting so much over the head of the regular person that if you were to go in front of a jury and you'd have like, you know, Kid Dynamite and like Harvey Organ go through the Comex and each lay their case out, the general population might not be able to understand who is right and who is wrong. And if there is fraud involved, the jury couldn't determine it because it's just too complicated for them. Now, I know there are a lot of people who follow me where this is not too complicated for them, but they would have to go through it several times and read to comprehend it to kind of see what's going on. So I know I might sound harsh in some of my comments too, and so forth, but I am giving you information. And I'll just say, this Kid Dynamite World, he has a whole series of articles about precious metals where he goes through details. This blog called the Screwtape Files, it goes through details about Eric Sprott's PSLV, why it took so long for the silver, and they lay out their case logistics, and it makes sense. Even after doing that, you'll have YouTube channels just say, oh, the Screwtape Files, they're just an anti-silver blog because they probably can't understand what the Screwtape Files is saying, so they just say, oh, I don't like what they're saying, and because I can't understand it, I'm going to operate on faith. In fact, that's how I think most YouTubers... My comb's not made out of silver, but it's made out of a petrol oil. This is a petrol dot. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That was a wild tangent. Get back to the wing lady. Okay, here we go. Wing lady. Okay, but anyhow, yeah, a lot of people on YouTube can't understand the ETFs because it has a lot of legal mumbo jumbo on it. Fascinating. This is just so fascinating. Stuff that people can't understand, they take on faith from the favorite pundit, and then they scream at you saying you don't know what you're talking about. That is the state of YouTube and the general public blogosphere. Enjoy it. But is humanity dumb as a group? Well, let's look at the trend for technology, population growth, you know, longevity, how long people live, all these things. Everybody's got computers. Maybe as a species, the humans are actually quite smart. Maybe not everybody, you know, maybe there's a lot of people who are, quote, dumb, but as a species, I think we've done pretty freaking amazing, especially in the last few hundred years. Okay, that's my opinion, and my opinion only, so thanks for watching.